You know what to do, you're just not doing it. And guess what? You are not the only one. 58% of participants in my Beyond the Promise research cited turning knowledge into action as one of the primary challenges they faced when joining a program and getting the results that they wanted. Now, clients sign up for results, they sign up for the promised outcome, but learning is much, much easier than actually doing. Consuming content versus changing behavior. But without changing our actions, we're going to keep getting the same results that we always got, the ones that we are investing in moving away from. And there is so much friction that comes into play when we're trying to take action. What is actually going on? Well, the first thing is that binge watching modules is really safe. Like, theory is nice, it's comfortable, we can passively consume information, we can recall it and even repeat it, but it doesn't really change the way that we do things. It has no lasting impact. When we do the work, we actually have to take a risk. We have to put ourselves on the line to be seen to be failing, to move through that discomfort of not knowing if it's going to work, that gap between taking the action and seeing the results, the fruits of our labor. And there's this inherent risk of embarrassment when people go, oh, what does she think she's doing? Why is she doing it that way? Or even falling short. And this fear is what keeps us in consumption instead of going out there and doing the damn thing. You know, listening to an expert allows us to stay comfortable, and doing is much more exposing. You know, you'll have seen it in yourself where you've kind of nodded along on the calls, but you've avoided taking the action. Maybe you've started down a path and then changed the goalposts. Maybe you're stuck in strategizing in your notebook instead of moving forward and actually going, my plan is good enough, and now it's time to act. And I think when you are a type A, used to getting good grades, you know, being the person that aces school, it can be really difficult to go out there and ship something that is not an A plus, you know, something that is B minus level, just goes against everything that you've ever done in your life. You know, you've had the promotions, you've been amazing in your career, and now when you're running a business, it feels really incongruent with who you are as being the perfect, high achieving A plus, you know, learner, worker, whatever. The second thing is that learning is instantly gratifying. It gives us that dopamine hit. You know, you watch the module, you have that aha moment, and you get this buzz of learning something new. It's an instant gratification moment. And action doesn't give us that. You know, the first time you go to the gym, it's like, oh my God, I actually have to go to the gym. It feels horrible. It's hot and it's sweaty and the music's loud. And, you know, I'm dying after 2 minutes on the treadmill. Or the first time you play the piano or post on social media, it feels like nothing's really happened. And when you're implementing something new, it can take weeks, it can take months, it can take even years for the work to feel visible, for the wins to show up, for that compounding effect to really kick in, that snowball effect. And this delay really knocks our desire, it knocks our confidence, it knocks our motivation. And what we really want to try and do is move ourselves away from worrying about that big final outcome or completing the course or doing the big thing, the big project, and move into these micro actions, these micro wins, the little shifts, the little changes that we can almost barely see, but they keep us in motion. So instead of, you know, I could suddenly play Mozart's concerto, it's I can play a chord, amazing, I'm making progress. The third thing is around the identity of being a learner. You know, acquiring knowledge, whether that's through courses or qualifications, feeds into this identity that you've built around yourself of being a lifelong learner, someone who is smart and intelligent and knows their shit. And when it comes to owning that knowledge, the skills, the expertise, it kind of butts up against that learner identity. You know, instead of, I know this, I'm really knowledgeable and intelligent, the question then becomes, but can I really do this? Like believing in the knowledge, knowing that you can ace the test, or having a certification on the wall, that is one side of the equation. But the bridge to, I am a capable piano player, I am, a successful podcast host. It's a big and scary leap. And then the fourth thing is around the cost of taking action. Doing the work, taking the action means that we're having to unlearn old habits. We're having to disrupt the status quo, the patterns and stories and narratives and ways that we've done things for so long, how we make decisions. And we're having to change all of that and do things that maybe we've never done before. And this conscious cognitive effort is so much harder than just doing what we've always done. And you can understand the principles of it in theory, add more knowledge to the top of the bucket, but moving into action is the hardest part. But until we actually move into action, those big business goals that we have are going to stay on ice. The launch that we keep delaying, the competitor with half the talent who's signing the clients, the opportunities that are passing us by in favor of someone who is already moving. So what do we need to do? Well, the first thing is we need to get clear on why we even want it. We need to find the spark, not just the logical shit, but the emotional connection to what we're trying to work towards. Like writing a book is sure, it's going to boost your authority, but why does that even matter? Like maybe it's the pride, like seeing the pride on your mum's face when she holds a copy of your book in her hands. Maybe that is the emotional driver for actually sitting down every day and writing the words that you need to write on the page. Set a deadline. Like, when are you going to have the thing finished? The challenging part of being a business owner is you don't have a boss telling you that this is what I need you to do and this is when I need you to do it by. You are the boss and you need to set those deadlines. If you're anything like me, I will not do anything without a deadline. I need the push to actually get the thing done. Then we want to make it smaller. You're not writing a whole damn book. You're writing the first 500 words on day 1, and then you're writing the next 500 words on day 2, and then on day 3 you might write 1,000 words, and then you might go back to 500, and then you might do 100, but you're moving forward every single day. And tell a friend, like somebody who actually gets it, another business owner, somebody who knows what you're trying to work towards. Like, don't ask your mates, don't ask your partner, like somebody that actually gets what it's like to be a business owner is somebody that you want to ask, like tell your goal to, say what you're working on, and ask them to check in on you. And if you don't have anybody like that in your network, like DM me on LinkedIn and let me know, and I will be that person for you. And I encourage you to go before you feel ready and before the time feels right, because spoiler alert, it's never going to be the right time. There's always going to be things going on. And you will never, ever, ever feel ready. Like, it's so easy just to keep pushing things down the road and kicking the can down the road, because you will never feel ready. Until you take the action and do the thing, you don't have any evidence. So you don't know whether it's going to work or not until you actually do it. And I don't know about you, but those situations where you are dreading doing something and you keep putting it off and you put it off, and then when you actually have the conversation with the person that you've been avoiding, or you do the thing that you've been avoiding, like, why on earth did I wait so long? Like, I could have just done it and, not had that mental load in my mind for the last month. So there are 4 implementation patterns that I've identified that might be running the show for you right now. And I'd love for you to take the quiz, and it's going to tell you which implementation pattern you are stuck in right now, and it's going to help you to map your pathway to focused execution. I'll see you next time.